Like if he see us without hijab, he will like yell at us like, "Put a hijab." So it's like a very Assalamualaikum. Hey guys. Okay, so I was gonna say, oh, what? I just made this cute cup with the ceramics. Isn't that cute? Like the handle is so cute. And then I also made this. It's not that impressive, but and I made this cute little one. And this, I don't know what this is, but I just made it because I don't know. I wanted to. Okay, so I'm like making this video to talk about like the concept of hijab, and like I believe that like based on my experience and how I grew up, I feel like the hijab is very much associated to culture than religion. I say that because okay, so I'm 24. Not majority, but half of my life I grew up back home in Ghana, but like I'm originally from Chad. My parents are from Chad, but we moved from Chad to Ghana when I was like 5 years old. So I grew up in Ghana in like a majority non-Muslim, I would say, country, but I was surrounded. My community was like mostly Muslim, so we like I would say like 60% of my community was surrounded by Muslims. So I had Muslim neighbors, Muslim friends, and so even though I would say I grew up in a like a country that is non-Muslim, I'd say my community like made me feel like I was part of like a Muslim, a vibrant Muslim community in like a Muslim country. So alhamdulillah. So based on that, I like the way the hijab was introduced to me from an early age. Was obviously I like grew up seeing my parents and like friends and people just wearing the hijab, and so I think I started wearing the hijab at the age of, I would say, six. And so the way it was introduced to me was by my dad like imposing it on us, and not more of like saying, oh, you have a choice. It was more of like, you have to, you don't have a choice. And like if he see us without hijab, he would like yell at us like, "Korea hijab." It was introduced or imposed upon us in like a fearful way, and not in a way that was like, oh, this is what Allah wants you to do, and this is what is part of your deen, and this is like, it's, you're doing it for Allah. It wasn't explained to me in that way. It was more of like, okay, put it on. You're like, people around you do it, you have to do it. And so I was introduced to the hijab in that sense. And so even that, I like grew up just wearing the hijab without knowing what it means. And so you see me like literally, this is, I've learned to like, you know, like wear hijab now in like a, you know, modest way. But before then, I would literally like wear this hijab as a turban. So like literally like just wrap it around my head, and my neck would show, my chest would show. Like also I used to wear like clothes that are not like, doesn't have long sleeve. It was just short. But that to me didn't matter, because the way I was introduced to the hijab is like, put it on. It wasn't explained to me in a way that it's a, oh, it's a way to like be modest, and like it's just not putting something on your head. It's also the way you dress, the way you put it on. It's not just like just put on a piece of cloth. There's like a certain way to do it that makes you way more modest, right? So I like used to wear it as a turban. I used to wear a short sleeve because I did not understood like what it means, what it meant to like be wearing it. So that's how I grew up with it. And then at age 14, I migrated to the United States. And so even then, I still used to wear it the way I was wearing it back home, and like everything, nothing changed. And then until I like moved to college, and I moved out for college on my own. I had to like leave my parents' house, just like move out for college. Then I don't know, I like went through a phase that I was like, it's so depressing, especially when you move to like a city that is like majority non-Muslim. Like I'll probably say most of the time I was only the only hijabi in like my class and stuff. So when you move to a city that is like majority non-Muslim and you're surrounded by people who do not have the same values and goals as you, it like really becomes difficult for you, and it's become it like it touched me a lot. I would say it's like it was definitely a struggle, but it was a struggle that I would say alhamdulillah that I went through it, because it made me like a better person and who I am today. Okay, moving on to the hijab. And so I moved out to college, and I like started questioning life. I'm like, why is everyone so different? Like, why am I wearing this hijab? Like, what is the purpose? Like, why do I have to wear it? Like, because I never understood these questions, because it was never taught to me. I was just taught you have to wear it. So I like went through this difficult phase where I was like literally depressed. When I say depressed, I was like literally, I wouldn't come out of my dorm apartments. I would like literally sit in my dorm all day long, tired, exhausted, not doing anything. I was like depressed, subhanallah. I started thinking, okay, I'm getting old now. Like, what do I want from life? Like, why is this like the way? Like, what is the purpose of life? Even then, I would say I was Muslim, but I wasn't like a practicing Muslim. Even though I observed the hijab, I was like I dressed modestly, um, and I was praying, but like not consistently. I wasn't like praying all like 5 prayers a day and stuff. I was struggling with that as well. And then I went through a phase and then I started like I was like, this is not life. Like, this is not meant to be like this way. And so I started like studying my religion way deeper. I would like watch YouTube videos, especially like people like Omar Suleiman, and like a lot of scholars and like imams that would post on their YouTube channels and stuff. And so I started watching videos, and like, it's more of like I was learning in a place of curiosity and not in a place of, oh, I need to start learning Islam. It was more of like curiosity. I became bored and stuff, and so I was like, okay, let me start studying, or let me see what this is about. Let me see what Islam says about this. And I would watch YouTube videos about it. I would read about it. I would like Google stuff, and alhamdulillah, like over time, I didn't know that sometimes when you like read and like you research and you gain knowledge, sometimes it reflects in your life and the way you practice. First started learning about the hijab and like why I was like observing it. Alhamdulillah, subhanallah, like the meaning of it, like it made very much sense to me. It was like something I was like, okay, like I knew it, like I knew there was like a reason behind it, and I wasn't just like being told to put it on by my religion and stuff. So alhamdulillah, when I like studied the meaning, it was like more, I like started like even in the way like I dress, and like not just putting on hijab, I like started being dressed even more modestly, and like wearing the hijab in a way like modest, where it's like covering my neck and like just not showing hair and stuff. So alhamdulillah, I began like observing the proper hijab. It was probably in my like third year of college, and yeah, that is how like it like I came here. But I would say alhamdulillah, because without that I would have been lost. And sometimes this is why I like always reflect on the Quran and like what it teaches. Allah does not challenge the soul more than it can bear. That is like what like it reminds me when I was being depressed, I didn't understood life. I was like more very like consumed in the moment, and I would like cry. I was very depressed. And then now thinking about it, that didn't like happen for no reason. I bared it, I lived through it, and I became better. Alhamdulillah for that. So this is what I say, like sometimes the verses in the Quran you would not understand their meaning, like it doesn't feel like personal to you until like you go through it. You look back at the verses and you're like, oh, that makes sense, that is why Allah said that in the Quran, and now it makes total sense. Because through experience we all gain like knowledge, and we personalize most of these Quran verses by going through stuff and like being able to connect the dots and understand that alhamdulillah this is like a deen that is perfected for us. And I don't know, yeah. So that is like my experience with the hijab. And yeah, so that is my experience of being a non-hijabi at a majority non-Muslim college and learning about life. And yeah, bye. Wassalamak.